On today's episode, we'll be talking about some finished objects, works in progress, as well as some acquisitions. Hey everyone, I'm Marina and this is Pineapple Knits. This is my channel dedicated to knitting, spinning, and weaving. You can connect with me on social media at Pineapple Yarn, and you can connect with me on my website at pineappleyarn.com. Thank you so much for joining me again this week, and if this is your first time joining me, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I'm coming to you from coastal South Carolina. We have had awesome weather. I have to say, I'm actually a little warm right now. It's that kind of brink of being super nice and the sun is out, so it's starting to get a little warm. Not complaining, obviously, but this past weekend we had some really cold weather. It rained for 3 days, mid 40s. That was the high, mid 40s, and it was freezing. It was so cold, and I started to get a little, I don't want to say depressed, but I started to get a little worried that this was it for fall and we were straight into winter, and a cold winter at that. But luckily by Monday we had sun again, and it was just like, I feel like I could breathe a little easier. But and actually, you know what, now that I think about it, the rain let up by Sunday afternoon. And I went out to my garden beds and cleaned those out. It was really, really nice. It was a really nice day, Sunday afternoon. But enough about the weather. Right now, I'm actually burning my Cozy Memories candle. And this scent is a holiday favorite in the shop. I should be pouring some more and stocking the shop with my next shop update. But it is the perfect kind of wintry holiday scent. It is delicious. It has just a hint of spruce, which is really nice. So that's what I'm burning today. And then on my mannequin is my Shawlography shawl, the finished one. It's so good. And if you did not see my reveal, check out last week's episode because it is kind of a masterpiece. I don't want to say my shawl completely. I mean, the pattern itself is a work of art, and I just followed the process, but it was really, really nice. And I couldn't help but just put it here on display because it's just so cheerful, and I really like it. I really, really like how it turned out. I will wear this for sure, but I thought I showed off on the episode this week. But I guess that's it. I had complete plans to wear a sweater, wear a shawl, and I can't. It is really warm. As a matter of fact, I just heard the air conditioning kick on, and I keep the air conditioning pretty high, or a pretty high temperature here in the studio, so it actually doesn't kick on until it's pretty warm. So that kind of tells you how warm it is today. Okay, so this week was interesting as far as making is concerned. I have a couple of interesting projects I'm going to share with you. The first one is a finished object, if I can reach it here. So y'all have seen these in past episodes, but these are my lines mittens, and I finally, with all of the cold weather, when it was really getting cold this weekend, I thought I need these mittens. They need to get finished, and I was so close to finishing them. So this is a pattern by Tin Can Knits. It's called Lines, and it's a really awesome pattern. I really liked it. I actually started with a variegated background color, I guess, which is this this cuff. This was a club color from Hedgehog Fibres. I can't remember what it's called. I will post it below because it has slipped my mind now. But so this was a club colorway. It was I was gifted this, and it was just very kind of like Halloween type colors, which aren't really my thing. And so I thought, why not I really liked a lot of the pops though. So let me show you the other side of this cuff. All these like really gorgeous speckles, like how gorgeous are those? I really liked a lot of these pops. So I felt like the color itself was promising. It had promise. And so I paired it with a color that I don't dye anymore. It's very similar to my colorway Coral Conch, and it's like a neon coral or a neon cantaloupe color, and that's what I used for the design in the pattern. And so basically what it is, it starts off with these broken lines, and then as you go up, it becomes more and more pixelated. So, you know, I love how these mittens turned out. I knew that the color work wouldn't be really clear, you know, because I was using a variegated color, but I just think that they turned out so pretty. I did make mistakes because I always make mistakes and I don't rip back. If they're not life-threatening, I just keep on. But yeah, they turn out really cute. I think I made the adult size small. Again, I'll put it in the description below because I can't remember these things. So here's how they look. Aren't they cute? I think that they're so fun, and they'll be so cute with a, I've already worn them actually. I think it's a piece of grass on them because I have already worn them, believe it or not. But I think these are really cute, and they're gonna look great with basically anything. I mean, because they're just so bright and cheerful, and they'd be really cute if you had a black coat or if you had whatever. I have 2 different winter coats, and both of them will look great. So anyway, they are so fun, and I highly recommend the pattern. It was great. And this is a DK weight, I should say that. This is pineapple yarn on my Lani DK base, which it's a superwash merino and nylon blend. So it's great for these projects that are just needing a little more durability, especially with the superwash merino. I mean, it's such a soft, beautiful wool, but then, you know, with mittens, it just needs a little more ruggedness, I guess. Needs a little more durability. But yeah, I thought that these turned out so pretty, and they were really fun. So as soon as those were off the needles, I actually started a new cast on. I started a new pattern. So a little backstory on this. My husband has been asking for some hand knitted items for quite a while. And I think when I want to say maybe when I was maybe 2015 or 2016, I knit him a sweater, and it was a nice sweater. It was a great pattern. I can't remember what the pattern was, but I thought it was great. But he is, he's a wonderful person, but he's very particular in how he wants things, and which I guess is great that he says what he wants, and but it also makes knitting items a little challenging. So for a long, you can tell I'm treading lightly here. I'm trying to be gracious in what I'm saying. He, for years, asked me to knit him a fingering weight cotton sweater. So a 100% cotton fingering weight sweater, which I, year after year, said absolutely not. The sweaters you buy at the store are machine knitted. It's a totally different animal than hand knitting. I'm not doing that. So lately, I would say lately being the last 2 years, I would say, he has been asking for fingerless gloves. And I guess this past week, I gave in finally, or maybe the past 2 weeks, because I dyed up yarn and actually knit one of the gloves. So this is a really great pattern, which is escaping me right now. I'll put it below. I did do a search on Ravelry because I was looking for specifically fingerless gloves. I knew that I could probably come up with a pattern. I didn't want to though. I just want to follow a pattern and come up with something great that works. But no joke, I have frogged and reknit this one glove, no less than 3 times. And I have reknit parts of it, probably 3 other times. So I think we found a glove, we found a size, and I adapted the pattern. I think we found a winner here. But this yarn was, it's Lani DK base, it's my base, and my husband wanted basically like a camouflage color, which I was like, I can't, I think he thought that I could dye something and it would knit up to be camouflage, which in my mind is like, camouflage is like the old school camouflage with like patches of colors, I guess. That's what I have in mind when I think camouflage. And I said, no, that's not going to happen. So I played around with some dye, I guess it was last weekend, and came up with this color, which I thought was really, really pretty. It has a lot of like greens and olives and browns. There's some gold in it. And I thought it turned out really, really well. So what I did, I ended up knitting the second size in the pattern on size 4s, which are, I think, 3.5mm needles. And I did that for the ribbing as well as the entire hand. And then, because I needed my DPNs for my lines mittens, that's why I hadn't finished them to begin with, I found my DPNs. And so I just use these super simple bamboo needles. I mean, these are like, I don't even know where I got these, many years ago, probably when I first started knitting. They're really nothing to write home about. They're really, really simple. So that's all I use. And as you probably can tell, you would need DPNs for all these fingers. So yes, this is a very densely knitted glove. It is, I would say my husband has like average sized hands. And these are very snug on him, but that's what he wanted. He wanted like very snug fingerless gloves. So I have written down all of my modifications, and I will go on to glove number 2. So hopefully this will work with him. Hopefully he won't use them once and then come back and say that he wants the fingers changed or something. So yes, hopefully it'll work out. But I do have to say that this colorway knit up so much to his liking that he now wants a sweater in this exact colorway, which I didn't really write down. I mean, I know basically how to dye it. He wants a sweater. So that's where we're at with that. Okay, so I am going to get the other fingerless glove done this weekend, and so that project can be done. But I am happy to make him something he likes. So my next work in progress, I showed you last week. I had started it. I just started it. I think last week was the first time I showed you. This is a new cast on. This is the Homebody Sweater by Heidi Kirrmaier. And I am knitting it for my oldest daughter because she wanted a sweater. So it's coming along. It might not look like I've made a lot of progress, but let's see. Right here where this adorable little cinnamon roll stitch marker is, I don't know if you can see it. So cute. I have 6 inches from that point to the very end of where the length needs to be. So I have about an inch on right here, and I think there's ribbing on the bottom. I haven't even read ahead to what I need to do when I get there. So I'm almost done with the body of the sweater. It is going to be oversized. I mean, you can probably see from the shoulders and the neckline, it's pretty big, which my daughter's bigger than me, so that is that. So it'll fit her better than like it would fit me. But yeah, I was really excited that this is almost done. I want to show you how cute this yarn is. It comes in these little tiny balls, hanks, I'm not really sure. But this is the brand, and I think you pronounce it Scheepjes. Maybe it's Scheepjes, I don't know. I think it's a Dutch word. So gorgeous. This is pink quartzite, and I gotta show you this because I thought this was cool and I'd never seen this before. But the end that you're supposed to use has a little tab, like a little sticker on the end of it, and it just says easy start right there. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that or not, but I just thought that was so cool. And so it has been a breeze to use this yarn. This is a 70% cotton, 30% acrylic, and it says it's an Aran weight. And I am using, what size needles? As you can tell, I did not read any notes before I began filming, which is how I do it most days. I don't know why I'm making excuses now. This is a US 8, which is a 5mm. And the recommended, oh, it is a 5mm. I couldn't remember if I had to go up or down, but I'm using the actual needle size. Now I think in the pattern, in the Homebody pattern, she might recommend a US 7. So I was on the fence about this sweater, whether I should stay with the size small, and I think that's the 3rd size in the pattern, or go down. And I did knit a gauge swatch. I was coming up with, I can't remember now, maybe basically like 4 stitches to the inch. I can't remember what, so this says the gauge swatch for this on a 5mm needle, which would be a size 8, is 10 by 10 centimeters. You should be getting 14 stitches and 19 rows. And I was getting 16 stitches, I believe, with this size. And so with the pattern, I think the recommended gauge swatch was maybe 18 stitches. Or 17 or 18 stitches. So I was almost there. I knew that when I knit with this yarn, the sweater was going to end up just a little bit bigger, but she's also growing a lot. And so, and she doesn't want anything too tight. So I decided to just go with the size small, which is the 3rd size. And I mean, it was oversized on her, but it wasn't obnoxiously so, I guess. It looked really cute. So I just decided I'm not going to rip it out if there's nothing wrong with it. And plus with this, you know, mostly cotton yarn, definitely want to keep it a little bit on the bigger side. I can't imagine that a chunky cotton yarn would feel very good tight against your skin or your body. So I think it's perfect for this kind of a boxy sweater. There's no shaping in this sweater. It's just meant to be like a really cozy, comfortable sweater, which is what she wants. So especially in this climate, you know, with a warmer climate, it does get cold here, relatively speaking, but it's not, you know, most of the time we have humidity and warmer weather, and so a cotton sweater will be nice. So anyway, that's what I've done with that. And I'm sure once I get that other fingerless glove knit and I hopefully won't have to take anything out on it. That's the one thing I wanted to say with that fingerless gloves pattern. It is a paid for pattern, and I think it's totally worth it if you want to knit gloves or fingerless gloves. It is so fast. It is such a simple pattern, and I was thinking about it with all of the beautiful DK weight yarn out there. I mean, there's some not only just beautiful semi-solids or tonal yarns, but there's some amazing variegated, speckled, crazy DK weight yarn out there, including I do dye some crazy DK weight yarn. So I'm not just talking about mine, but I mean, there's so many fabulous dyers out there. It would be so fun to take a skein of just, you know, one-off DK weight yarn and knit some great fingerless gloves for someone on your gift list. So I was just thinking, like, these would be the greatest gift because they're so cute and so fast. I was really, really surprised how fast they were, even with, you know, the fingers are a little fiddly with the DPNs, but they went by really, really quickly. So all in all, I mean, it's a really great pattern, and I definitely wanted to recommend that if you need to knit some fingerless gloves for a gift. So that's all I have this week. I did want to show you an acquisition. I had been looking at these for a while and then just kind of decided to do it, to purchase them because I thought that they would be very helpful in the future. When I knit my cocoa knit sweater, it was a learning process because there's the whole cocoa knits method. It's really simple and straightforward, but anytime you're learning something new, it's learning something new. But Julie Weisenberger has a whole line of accessories that go with her patterns. And so I decided to purchase a couple of tools that I thought would be really useful, not only with her patterns, but with other patterns. So this is the first one I bought. This is called Maker's Keep, a magnetic slap bracelet. So I decided to get the light blue because I thought this was really, really fun and pretty. So it's packaged really well. And this is what it looks like. Let me take the plastic off here. And so it's just an adjustable bracelet. You just put it on your wrist. There's no closures or anything. It just stays on with tension because it's like a slap bracelet would. But this is a magnet. So she has some other accessories that fit on this. And one of them is a knitting row counter. And so that also came in just this really cute little box. So this row counter is so great for keeping tracks of the number of stitches on a sleeve, or how many stitches or how many rows you've made before the next decrease, something like that. So you just snap it on here. It really just snaps on this bracelet and it's just right there. You can just click it. There's actually a lock at the bottom too, which I think is so fabulous. But I'm just going to show you a close-up of the numbers, how they work. So you can tell they are super easy. So it's so easy, and then you just adjust the lock at the bottom and it doesn't go at all. So I thought this was really cool and a very useful tool. It's definitely something I have to keep away from my kids because they will want to click on it a ton. But if you have something on your wrist that you can just quickly tap and it keeps count for you, I just thought that that was really handy, and I'm definitely going to use it. So the next thing I bought is a pack of her stitch markers. And so I figured they'd just be kind of like jump rings, but these are really, really nice. And let me see if I can get it to show up. Let me find a darker color. So I don't know what size I got. Let me read. I hope you can see that. I got the, let's see. This says it's a US 13 9mm. The container has 60 stitch markers in it, so quite a few. And I can't remember if this was sized, you know, small, medium, large, something like that. But with Coco Knits patterns, she recommends using different colored stitch markers to basically color code the section of the sweater you're working on, which is really handy. And the last time, or the first time, the only time I've knit a Coco Knits sweater, and now I've thrown one on the floor. I didn't have these colored stitch markers, and I thought they would be so nice. But anyway, look at that. They snap right onto this bracelet, and they're magnetic. They are really high quality too, and you could most likely fit a lot of stitch markers on this bracelet. So I just thought that was really handy. I sit on the couch mostly when I knit, and I am always losing my stitch markers in between the cushions. And so when I go to clean out the couch, I always find them. So I just thought this was really nice, very high quality tools. I was really, really happy with the quality, and I'm sure I will be using them for a long time and enjoying them. So anyway, I just wanted to show you in case you are into that kind of thing, if you're on the hunt for these kinds of tools. I'll also put a link below where I purchased them. So that is what has been going on this week. It's been another crazy busy week. I had 2 appliances die on me. I had my stove and my dishwasher die all at once. So I just bought a new stove and a new dishwasher, and was lucky enough to find, I bought the most basic versions and was able to have them delivered within, less than a week. It was crazy, just in a matter of a couple days. So I was really happy to get those, and I got them installed in the kitchen, and they're just all good to go. So I'm very happy about that. I always tell the kids, it's always when something quits working, you realize all the things you take for granted. And I'll tell you what, with 5 children, I do not take a dishwasher for granted, ever. And when one dies, it is just a reminder of how crucial they are. And so, yes, it was very nice to get the kitchen kind of put together and back to normal, I guess. So, yeah, so I guess that happened this week, and I've been getting ready for a shop update, which I will have not next Friday, but the Friday after. That might be the Friday after Thanksgiving here in the States. I'll have to check my calendar because I'm not even there yet. But I will be having an update in November, so don't worry, I still am. I've just had a couple things this week, like the appliances happen. So the update will be a little later than I wanted, but it's okay. It'll still happen in November. And I got the cutest Christmas holiday fabric that I'm going to be sewing some project bags and doing some kits for. So I haven't been doing that in a really long time. My knitting kits are basically a project bag, and then I dye yarn to match the project bag. And it's always such a fun challenge for me. I love putting those together. I do usually put a progress keeper in with them as well. So it's usually a themed kit, and they're just so fun. They really, It's one of those things that I really, really love to put together, and it kind of feeds my creative juices, if you will. So I'm really excited to do that. They're going to be so cute. And I will have a couple of sweater or larger project bags in the shop as well with the same theme. So if you're interested, I'll have those. I will have single skeins as well with holiday and Christmas themed yarn, and hopefully I will get around to pouring up some of these candles as well. So I want to have just a full-on holiday Christmas update and to get ready for Christmas. So, you know, the season's coming, and so I know a lot of you are wanting to do some knits and get in the spirit, and it's going to be really fun. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I will hopefully be posting some previews up on Instagram as well, so keep an eye out for those. I've also sent out all of November's clubs. I did that earlier this week, so thank you so much if you purchased a November club pre-order. I really, really appreciate it, and for all of you who subscribe month after month, I really appreciate it. It is what keeps these clubs going month after month, and I really, really appreciate it. This month is the December club pre-order. So for the whole month of November, if you purchase a club pre-order, they will be shipped by December 10th. And I have some really fun themes. So check out the website for that. I have a link down below in case you're interested. That's it for me this week. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you like this episode, I'd love if you'd give it a thumbs up. I'll be back next week with another episode, but until then, I hope you are enjoying your crafting, and I will see you soon. Bye.